Let's work out the next one. Okay, let's go ahead and write down the proportions. So we do have to do rows first. So for this one we have 1, 2, 3 rows, 3 times 2 columns, and 1, 2 rows by 2 columns. So let's look at the inner numbers. The inner numbers tells us whether we can multiply. If they're the same, yes, we can multiply. The outer two numbers tell us what our final product is going to be, so that's going to be a 3 by 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the final product 3 by 2. So it's going to be a 1. I don't want to put it so high up. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's a 3 by 2. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take off all of this. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's do our first row. Okay, so I'm going to do first row, first column, and I'm going to get this number right here. Okay, my first row and first column. So I'm going to multiply the first number, 3, times negative 6. I'm going to add it to negative 6 times negative 6, which gives me negative 18 plus 36, which is 18. Okay? So it's 18. Let's take care of this number right here. How do I get that? I do first row and second column. So the first numbers of both of those, the row and the column, is 3 times 0 plus negative 6 times 3. So that equals 0 minus 18. So that is negative 18. Okay? Now, I'm done with the first row. I'm done with this row completely. I'm moving on to the second row. I'm going to do second row. Okay? So the second row, the answer is going to be here. And I'm going to erase the column so I can make them. So we have second row, first column, so that's 0 times negative 6 plus 1 times negative 6, which is 0, and then negative 6. So my answer for this one is negative 6. Okay? Now let's do second row, second column. So we have 0 times 0 plus 1 times 3 equals 3. So my answer to this is going to be 3. Okay? Now, we're done with the second row. Let's do the third row. Third row, first column. So we have 0 times negative 6 plus negative 2 times negative 6, which is 12. So 12 is my first answer. And then third row, second column, 0 times 0 plus negative 2 times 3 equals negative 6. So my answer is negative 6. And that's my final answer. Okay, just make sure you write out the steps. I know you can do it in your head. You're fully capable of multiplying in your head. I know that. But sometimes you mess up because of the positioning, or you're just not used to looking at the matrices with the rows and the columns and multiplying in that manner. So you mess up and then you don't realize where you messed up. And so, guys, I really suggest that you write this whole step out right here. Okay? Good job.